Hello and welcome to the Business Standard Morning Show. I'm Binu Sandhu. It's 20th of October 2023 and here are the questions we will be answering today. Can PaidX help clean up the bot mess? What will it take for an Indian to land on the moon? Is it time to bottom fish FMCG stocks? And what are NCLT and NCLAT? Weeding out bots from X has been one of Elon Musk's top priorities. He had threatened to pull out of the $44 billion Twitter deal last year, claiming that 1/3 of the users were in fact bots. Over a year after his takeover, Musk now appears determined to push the bots out. He's asking new users in New Zealand and the Philippines to pay over $1 a year to become active on the platform. But will this move help X clean the bot mess? Tariq Ahmed brings you the answer.
A month after hinting that X could start charging all users, the Elon Musk-promoted company has rolled out some sort of pilot project to test the waters. Under the new program called Not a Bot, new X users in New Zealand and the Philippines will have to fork out $1 annual fee to post and interact with other posts. New unpaid members will be reduced to passive users who can only read posts, watch videos, and follow accounts. All the fresh accounts in the two countries will first be required to verify their phone number and then pay $1 annual fee to become an active participant. But premium subscribers will need not pay this annual fee. X had earlier introduced a premium subscription that cost $8 a month. The premium account lets the user edit the posts and add a blue tick on the user's account. Bots and spammers were on Elon Musk's radar since he took over X, then known as Twitter. In fact, even before the deal was struck, it got stuck over the issue of bots. Musk feared that the share of the bots on the platform was much more than 5%, as claimed by its previous custodians.
I think it's just another innovative method of commercialization and generating a new revenue stream. That is my initial observations because of two reasons. One, that already there are a lot of bot accounts on the platform that have already have the blue tick or blue check mark for the payment. So the spammers and bot accounts, they earn a lot more money just by the fact that they are able to use the platform. So for them to sort of pay a fraction of that money in terms of $1, I don't think that's going to deter them.
This thing of charging $1 for new subscribers, it's only for new subscribers, is really a way to get some revenues, A, and B, to reassure the advertisers that he is taking some limited steps, at least in terms of cleaning up the platform, because the advertisers are extremely wary of putting their content next to Twitter content, which they feel is full of hate speech and all kind of inaccurate and disinformation.
Musk had acquired Twitter in October 2022, and since his takeover, monthly US ad revenue has declined at least 55% year over year each month. Most brands have been wary of rapid changes under Musk's ownership. Just last Thursday, the company's chief executive, Linda Yaccarino, reportedly explained the company's business plans to lenders who funded Musk's Twitter acquisition. The X premium service too couldn't get many takers. According to Musk, X has 550 million monthly users. However, according to a third-party researcher, Travis Brown, in the first 40 days of X Premium, only 94,000 people joined it. Twitter hasn't booked profit since 2019 and posted loss in 8 years of the past decade. So what does the future of the recent move look like?
So his problem really is not the bots as much as it is the fact that he is facing a situation where the revenue model of Twitter has dramatically reduced since he paid that 45 billion or whatever it was to take over the company. So, it is really a financial crisis that he's facing in the company that he's trying to manage.
And will the subscription method for new users help X combat bots?
With respect to the fake accounts, all social media companies are ambivalent about it. So the larger the number of accounts that they can show they're reaching through the advertising, the more the revenues for the companies in terms of advertising. So they always have this love-hate relationship with bots, where they would like that all the accounts are genuine. On the other hand, their desire to reduce it only to genuine accounts would mean that the number of followers and the number of users on the platform would decrease quite substantially in some cases. For example, in LinkedIn, it would hardly decrease, whereas on Twitter, it would decrease dramatically. By charging $1 only, you're not going to make a big difference, because you can see this from the gaming community, where asking for credit card information and everything did not really change. It changed to some extent, but did not dramatically change the amount of fake accounts and bots that are there.
Experts believe that a subscription-based model for the new users at $1 may not be a great help against the bots and spam issue that X is facing. They said that the $1 subscription model is a start for finding a revenue source other than advertisement. But it's also possible that X may lose a large chunk of potential new users due to the subscription fee.
Besides X, Musk is also deeply invested in his space project and keenly follows every big development. He praised India's Chandrayaan-3 mission on its success in August. India, on its part, is now planning a much bigger and ambitious mission, sending an Indian to the moon by 2040. But what would that take? Abhijit Kumar tells us.
जी हाँ, आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि हम लैंडर मॉड्यूल.
That was the big moment for Indian space research when the Chandrayaan-3 mission successfully made a soft landing near the south pole of the moon. India has now decided to up the ante in lunar exploration. In a meeting to assess the progress of the Gaganyaan mission this week, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that India should now aim at setting up a space station by 2035 and sending the first Indian to the moon by 2040. The Department of Space has confirmed that India's first manned mission to space is progressing as per schedule to launch in 2025. If successful, the Gaganyaan mission would be a milestone in achieving India's manned mission to the moon. But a manned mission to the moon is easier said than done. The Indian Space Research Organization will need cutting-edge technologies supported by robust policies, international collaboration, and active participation from India's growing private space sector. The agency has already made significant strides in this direction, with the recent success of Chandrayaan-3 providing valuable data and insights. Former director of ISRO, V. Seshagiri Rao, believes the key challenge will be to develop reliable life support systems, spacecraft capable of withstanding the harsh lunar environment, and advanced propulsion systems for a safe journey to and from the moon.
If you want to send a human onto the moon, it is a huge effort. The reason being you need a human-rated launch vehicle and followed by astronauts crew chamber, service crew module, service module, and it should have a sufficient propellant mechanism to travel up to the moon surface, and then again bring him back. You need the propellant systems.
Also essential is the involvement of India's private space sector. Experts believe that their active participation in lunar missions can provide the necessary innovation and expertise that ISRO might need to accomplish this ambitious mission.
ISRO is not only one entity cannot do it. It is a collective effort of throughout the country has to participate. Lot of money will flow to the private industry to demonstrate, to get the material. Because ISRO cannot develop materials. And again, the software technology. And again, the human power. It has to collaborate with the academia, institute, research institute.
Pawan Goenka, chairman of the Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Centre, or INSpace, recently said that India's space industry can account for 8% of the global space market in the next decade. This would put its valuation at $44 billion, including $11 billion in exports. Goenka believes private startups will play a large part in it. Private investments can rise to as much as $22 billion over the next 10 years. Scientists believe that by collaborating with other space agencies and organizations, ISRO can tap into their resources, expertise and shared knowledge, thereby reducing the cost and risks.
You require huge technological support from various agencies, industries in India. And let us say already similar development is available across various nations. If there is a collaboration let us say next Chandrayaan mission, JAXA collaboration is there. Similar to that, it is possible for spacefaring nations to have collaboration with other countries and make this project a success.
However, the ambitious mission won't come without its share of challenges. India's space policy and regulatory framework must adapt to include private sector participation and establish liability protocols in the event of accidents. International cooperation in outer space is governed by a web of treaties and agreements, including the Outer Space Treaty and the Moon Agreement. India will need to work closely with other spacefaring nations to ensure that its activities on the moon comply with these international norms. India's plan to send a man to the moon by 2040 is an ambitious yet attainable goal. If successful, India could become the second country in the world after the US to achieve this feat. To shoot for the moon is easy, turning it to reality will take immense effort. The country's space ambitions will test the mettle of ISRO.
Well, let's hope that happens in the near future. Meanwhile, the central government hiked dearness allowance by 4% on October 18, just when the festive season is kicking in. The move, analysts believe, will lead to higher disposable income in the hands of consumers. This, along with easing retail inflation, augurs well for demand recovery. In our next report, Nikita Vasish decodes what may and may not work for the FMCG sector and what should investors' strategy be.
Fast-moving consumer goods or FMCG companies have had a mixed show at the bourses over the past 3 months. While the benchmark Nifty 50 index dipped 0.4% during the period, the Nifty FMCG index has slipped 2%. Among stocks, shares of Britannia Industries, Hindustan Unilever, and ITC have declined in the range of 4 to 9%. The drag, analysts believe, has been due to muted rural demand, late onset of festive season, erratic weather conditions, and increased competition from local players. The recently announced September quarter results of Nestle India too reflected the trend. The company's total sales growth came in at 9.4% in Q3 CY23, down from 15% in Q2 CY23 and 21% in Q1 CY23. The management, however, remains hopeful of volume recovery amid better demand trends across Tier 2 and 3 cities and pricing and volume mix. Analysts too expect the trend to percolate across the sector.
August rains has been a spoiler, El Nino has been a spoiler, but overall margin recovery remains good. Only one issue is crude is now back to $90. So that is a slight worry from a commodity inflation now coming back. If crude goes beyond $100, that's a bigger concern. At 90, it's a slight concern, I would say. So our top picks currently will be Nestle, Tata Consumer, Godrej Consumer, and Colgate.
On October 18, the central government approved a 4% hike in dearness allowance for central government employees. The decision, which is expected to benefit over 10 million employees and pensioners, comes with the onset of festive season. Analysts believe increased disposable income would further support demand recovery. That said, volatile commodity prices, including that of crude oil, may play a spoil sport. According to G. Chokhalingam of Economics Research, FMCG companies may not entirely pass on increased input costs as the industry volume is growing in poor single digits. Any significant price hike would suppress volume demand further. Markets for now are closely monitoring commodity costs and are partially factoring in margin contraction for companies heavily dependent on crude oil derivatives. Against this, what should be investors' strategy?
We are expecting second half to be better than first half, and that would be driven by the upcoming festive season, which will drive demand growth, as well as rural will see some pickup. FMCG being a defensive play, investor strategy should be to invest in staggered manner in FMCG names like ITC, HUL, Marico and Jyoti Lab.
In a nutshell, the FMCG sector is eyeing a gradual recovery in demand led by moderating inflation, a hike in minimum support price, and government spending. A stock-selective approach, however, is advisable given volatility in commodity prices. On 20th October, markets will react to the Q2 results of HUL and ITC. Hindustan Zinc, JSW Steel, and Paytm will be among the 55 companies which will report their September quarter results.
He's making plans for an early retirement. Business Standard.
But have you ever wondered where companies go when there are some disputes? Where are issues concerning companies adjudicated? The answer is NCLT and NCLAT. The two tribunals were in the news recently after the Supreme Court pulled them up for allegedly defying its directions in a dispute relating to Phenolics cables. In our next report, we tell you more about these two bodies.
The National Company Law Tribunal, or NCLT, is a quasi-judicial body established under the Companies Act of 2013 to resolve corporate civil disputes. It has the same powers as a court. The NCLT consists of a president, judicial and technical members appointed by the central government. The president of the tribunal is appointed by the government after consultation with the Chief Justice of India. The members too are appointed by the central government on the recommendation of a selected committee. NCLT was established to ensure speedy disposal of cases as courts were overburdened. Parties that are not satisfied with the tribunal's judgment can move appellate tribunal, that is National Company Law Appellate Tribunal, or NCLAT. NCLAT was constituted under Section 410 of the Companies Act 2013 to hear appeals against the orders of NCLT. NCLAT also handles appeals against orders passed by the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India and the Competition Commission of India. Aggrieved parties have the option to appeal decisions made by the appellate tribunal to the Supreme Court within 60 days. The NCLAT has two benches, one principal bench in New Delhi and the other in Chennai. It consists of a chairperson, 3 judicial members and 2 technical members. The appellate tribunal can consist of no more than 11 members in total. For judicial members, applicants should have been a judge of a high court or a district judge for at least 5 years or have a minimum of 10 years of experience. At the same time, technical members require at least 15 years of experience as a chartered accountant, cost accountant or company secretary. Parties involved in proceedings before NCLT or NCLAT can either represent themselves or appoint legal representatives, chartered accountants, company secretaries, or cost accountants to represent them. The primary jurisdiction is with NCLT, which handles fact-finding and evidence gathering. while NCLAT handles appeals evaluating NCLT's decisions on points of law or fact. Both tribunals have the same jurisdiction, powers, and authority as a High Court to deal with contempt of the tribunal cases.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank, SBI, the banker to every Indian.
Interestingly, no one can join NCLT or NCLAT until he or she has attained the age of 50. Well, that's all for today. For more news and analysis, please log into our website, business-standard.com. Thank you for watching.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.